Do you hear that?
Honey, it's probably just a drunken, semi-naked mock exorcism. Boys will be boys.
Candidates drink from the skull. Let's say it happens, okay? My response, so what?
Basically have a YouTube show telling people what we're getting from the demons these days.
Right, that would be fantastic.
Just from a layman's perspective, it looks to me like the exorcism was a miserable failure.
The Cold War is well into its fourth decade. With tension between the United States and Russia still running high, the American government searches for a way to destabilize the enemy regime.
The U.S. needed victories in intelligence and militarily.
That May, CIA Director Stansfield Turner receives some information that could help give the U.S. a major advantage.
A Soviet spy plane had crashed in Central Africa.
Turner knows that the aircraft, a Tupolev-22, is used mainly for reconnaissance missions, and locating it could prove to be an invaluable intelligence coup.
The Americans were desperate to reach the crash site first. If they did, they would gain access to sophisticated Soviet photographic and bombing technology.
An agency brief indicates that the plane has crashed somewhere in the jungles of Zaire. So, with the clock ticking, CIA operatives reorient powerful spy satellites to penetrate the dense African wilderness. But the cutting-edge technology provides little insight.
Even infrared spy satellite imagery was unable to penetrate the jungle and determine the crash site.
With time running out, the CIA makes a last-ditch effort to locate the aircraft and enlists some extrasensory assistance.
He decides to turn to America's psychic spying program.
For 6 years, the U.S. government has been evaluating the military use of ESP by conducting tests on a small army of second-sighted citizens. These CIA-funded studies have found the most success with a clairvoyant tactic called remote viewing.
Remote viewing is a form of ESP in which a psychic is able to send his or her consciousness to another location and receive images and all kinds of sensory information.
After receiving the CIA's urgent request, a team of scientists at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio recruit their most skilled remote viewer.
A scientist takes a picture of a Soviet T-22 and says, "Here is your target, and we need you to find it."
After studying the image, the woman closes her eyes, seemingly entering a trance-like state. Then, the scientist hands over a piece of paper and a pencil.
She starts to trace out a river with the wreckage of a plane extending from it.
As she continues sketching, an image emerges of two bisecting bodies of water and a large mountain range.
She winds up producing a vivid aerial shot of what is thought to be the crash site.
In fact, the psychic's work is so detailed that a scientist is able to match her drawing to a topographical map of Zaire.
They are able to provide the set of coordinates to a CIA team that's hunting for the plane, and they begin to close in on what they think is its location.
So, what will become of the psychic spy's premonition?
It's May 1978. Desperate to retrieve intelligence secrets from a downed Soviet reconnaissance plane, the CIA turns for guidance to their top secret weapon, a psychic spy. Now, a field team in Africa is en route to a location foreseen by their extrasensory agent. So, will they reach the aircraft before their Russian adversaries?
As the agents approach the coordinates, they are shocked by what they find.
Sure enough, they see the tail of a plane sticking up.
Incredibly, the remote viewer has found the coveted Soviet craft. Officials quickly abscond with the satellite and communications hardware before rushing back to headquarters in Kinshasa. With the Soviet secrets in hand, CIA Director Stansfield Turner contacts President Jimmy Carter to share the good news.
The president is thrilled, but he's also incredulous at how all this happened so quickly, and he asks Turner, "How did you do it?"
Concerned about how Carter will react to the CIA's paranormal strategy, Turner timidly mentions the role of the clairvoyant agent.
He's not shocked, he's intrigued, and he feels it was a commendable job by everyone involved.
It's a significant victory for America's nascent ESP program over their Soviet foes, who have reportedly spent millions on their own parapsychology research.
They've been using psychic spying more or less since the age of World War II.
Emboldened by the success of the Tupolev 22 mission, the American government funnels more money into psychic research, with special emphasis on remote viewing.
By the mid-1980s, they lay claim to having discovered hidden Soviet weapons facilities and the holding place and health of some of America's hostages in Iran.
But as the Cold War comes to an end in the early 1990s, the CIA is ordered to reevaluate the efficacy of the remote viewing program.
The CIA-appointed panel ultimately concludes that the program at best had mixed results and that its existence is no longer justified.
So in 1995, the U.S. government brings over 20 years of psychic warfare to a close.
Clinton defunds the psychic spying program and declassifies some of its documents.
Today, psychic spies seem like whimsical inspiration for a Hollywood blockbuster. But at one time, they were the White House's most secret weapons.